Welcome to the Voices of the Goddess podcast. We believe that there is a goddess inside each and every one of us. When we use our voice to share that goddess, we support and uplift each other. Join us each week as we interview women to receive the message of their goddess within. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast, where we empower, inspire, and uplift women to be the goddesses they are meant to be. I am Julietta, the magical PT. My passion is supporting people in their healing journey, finding balance in their body, mind, and spirit, because you can't heal one without healing the others. And I'm also an artist, and I create art and jewelry with crystals. And I'm also a podcaster, and I live in hot and sunny Southeast Florida. And
where it's hotter.
I did say I woke up this morning and it was like in the 60s, so I was very grateful for that. And I'm really, because I didn't mention this at all today. I'm a Midwesterner, and I am going home to Wisconsin for Christmas, and I can't wait. And I'm just going to put this out there because everybody disses the Spirit Airlines. And yeah. I know everything negative about them. I've flown them and had said I would never fly them again. Right now, I'm going to say I am truly grateful for the Spirit Airlines. They are the one airline right now that is offering a direct flight from Fort Lauderdale to Milwaukee.
Well, there you go.
I get a cheap direct flight home for the holidays. Well,
it's cheap on the front end. Wait till you get there. So.
No. I've already paid.
You did all the stuff.
I did all that already. So we're all good.
Well, listen, I'm flying Allegiant to Tennessee in a couple of weeks, which is the same as Spirit. So we'll see if, what happens. But it was so inexpensive. And I bought 2 one-way tickets, and each ticket was like $69 one way. I mean, come on, you cannot beat that. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm Allison Mancini, and I am your holistic nutritionist, and I am also a podcaster, and I am a mom to 2 amazing adult children, 25 and 22, wife to a wonderful husband of 28 years. Every time I say that, it feels like a lot, and it is.
You must have been a child bride.
I was like 12. No, I'm kidding. And I'm also a dog mom and a dog grandmom. Grandma, I guess, is the way to say that. And I am also the human resources and community relations manager for an amazing company called The Gold Digger Girl. You can find it on social media. And I'm also going back and getting my certification as a functional nutritionist. So I've just got a lot going on.
You do have a lot going on.
It's all good. And I have a big launch for a new nonprofit I'm on now, the board, and that's happening today. And it's all good things. But you know what? It's like our previous guest said, when you're doing things that you really love, like it's joyful, right? It all feels like I wake up in the morning, I'm excited. I'm excited for our interviews. I'm excited for all of the good stuff. Speaking of which, I'm excited about our book club that I love because it makes me read more books.
Because you don't read enough books already.
I'm reading like 5 at one time right now. It's Nick like looks at me because we go to bed and I read before I go to sleep because that's better than watching something on TV. And I have like 5 books and I read like 10 pages in each book, and he just looks at me like I'm out of my mind. I am. That's okay.
Yeah. So it's a little weird. We're taking for this month of December, we decided to take a book club vacation because everybody's so busy the month of December. I mean, you're all out there celebrating my birthday right now,
which is today. Happy birthday.
Thank you. But then we've got Hanukkah and Christmas and New Year's. So we're taking a little book vacation, but book club will be back for January. So if you haven't partaken, do you say that? Partaken? Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Or if you haven't partook.
That does not sound right.
In our book club in past months, join us. we do it through our Facebook group, Circle of Goddesses. So join our Circle of Goddesses group on Facebook, and we post in there, which is our book of the month. And each Monday at noon, we come on live and talk about part of the book. And we also invite our listeners to join us to talk about the book. That's really fun. I love when they do that.
I know. Well,
it makes it extra special fun.
Yeah, I had Vanessa on recently. She was with me. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's just nice to talk. I'm finding talking about it every week really just even makes me take in what I'm learning even more. Right? It kind of solidifies.
You read more mindfully when you know that you're going to talk about it with other people. I think
absolutely.
So the messages just sink in a little bit deeper.
And we're putting out there that we're thinking we might have to read Brene Brown's new book that's coming out, because Brene's going to be on our podcast.
She's going to be on our show, for sure.
If anybody's hearing that, she is going to be on our show one day. Just
one day.
Not sure when that day is.
Is her book, what I don't know is when is her book, will it be out by then?
I think, yeah. I think it comes out this month, actually.
All right. Perfect. Yeah. So even though I had a different book picked out, but
we'll just do that one in February, which is the month of love, which that would be
perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. See, it all works out just how it's supposed to.
Are we ready to bring our guest on?
I think so. It's time.
Bring her.
All right. Tasha, how are you?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. So happy to have you here. So can you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us about you and a bit about what you do.
Absolutely. So my name is Tasha Ho-Sang. I am a digital marketing advisor, strategist. I've been in the marketing space for over 18 years. Geez, that sounds old, right? Actually, started my career at our local newspaper in Philadelphia. I was born in New York, but I am a Philly girl all day. And then went over to iHeartMedia, which I spent the bulk of my career, picked up what I learned from digital marketing there, ended up getting my master's in digital marketing. So that is my world. A mother of 3 amazing, amazing children, and a wife to an amazing husband. I heard you guys going through your titles, so I'm trying to stretch mine because I feel like I'm lagging with my titles.
Well, and we met because you're in BNI, which that's how she and I met, and that's how Julietta and I met. See, BNI brings lots of great people together.
It's true.
I didn't know that you worked for iHeart. I somehow forgot that because I know you and I have talked about that before. Our podcast
is on now. I did.
I know. Our podcast is on iHeart also. iHeart podcast. So,
yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Are you ready to start the questions?
I am ready.
All right. Let's do this. So question number 1, what is your superpower?
Superpower. I am told that I have a magnetic personality, right? It kind of like draws people in. If you ask my husband and I wasn't around, would he say the same thing? I don't know. I'm kidding. But I think that's my superpower. I have a way of finding a commonality between me and someone who you would think is a part of a completely different world. We're all connected in some way, right? And so
I'm in.
My superpower, yeah.
I would agree with you though, because the first time I've never met you in person. And the first time I met you was on a screen like this.
Right.
And I remember seeing your big smile and thinking to myself, I need to meet her. Like, she seems so great. And I would agree with that. I absolutely would say that's your superpower. And that's an awesome superpower to have.
Thank you. Same with you, by the way, Allison. I was
thanks.
Yeah.
You're beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. I'm coming on here every day, guys. Like, I'm not leaving.
Hey, we're all about empowering, inspiring, uplifting. So, listen, we have to do that for each other because we in our own minds spend so much of our day mushing ourselves down, right? Like we talk bad to ourselves all day long. So we have to support one another and make sure we're talking good things to each other.
Right. Amen.
All right. Question number 2 is, and I know it might be hard to pick one, but Do your best. If you can't, that's okay. What is a book that has most influenced your life?
Oh, that's an easy one. And it's funny because it kind of goes with what you just said. Okay. So it's a book I recently read. So it's Glenn Doyle's book, Untamed. Life-changing, guys. And so the book, in my experience, like I feel like I should have been a part of a book club, because my takeaway from the book was, we sort of change ourselves as women once we get married, once we become mothers, and we feel like we have to completely, disregard our old life. And the book is about not slowly dying after marriage and kids, but really showing them how to live life to the fullest. And I am all about that. Like, literally, I did something so amazing last weekend, and I was telling my daughter about it, and she's like, look at you trying to act like you're in high school. And I was like, first of all, your mom is fly. Second of all, yes, you're right. This is how you live. Don't put me in a box.
I know. I get that. I have a 22-year-old daughter, and I'll like walk out of my room and she'll look at me and be like, is that what you're wearing? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, it's what I'm wearing. Go away from me. Like, walk away.
It's always your own kids, right? But yeah, I'm all about that. Living loudly,
Yeah.
So.
I have not read Untamed. Have you read that, Julietta?
I will say, I always have a hard time because I listen to it on audiobook. Okay. So I have a hard time saying I read something when I listen to it, but it's fantastic. And she actually narrates the book. So it's fun hearing her voice to it. Because with all the audiobooks, I feel like when the author reads it, it has like a different energy to it as opposed to when they have someone else narrating the book for them. So yes, is a great book. Totally loved reading it. And I think about this often because I know we all do it sometimes, that we're living our life the way we think others expect us. We do what other people expect us to do. And actually, we had our 30 days of gratitude on our Facebook group. And one of the things that they asked was, what are you grateful about your significant other? And the thing that I wrote about that was like, he just lives boldly. Like he doesn't make any choice based on what other people would do or what he thinks other people expect of him. Like he's just his own unique self all the time. And like, I got to see this in Egypt. Like I bought him, the traditional Egyptian garb is a galabea. It's like basically like a kaftan, and men wear them, women wear them, women wear them. And so I bought him one. And so we're going out to, I forget which pyramids or whatever temple we were going to. And, I gave him the galabea, and he was already dressed, and he's like, hey, I'm going to wear this. And so he took off what he was wearing and he put that galabea on, and here we are walking through Egypt, this total, tall blonde American guy, and he's wearing a traditional Egyptian galabea. I'm like, how many other men would do that? Like, not so much. So, being able to just do what you want to do and not be untamed, be bold, I love that.
I'm going to have to read that book. I have not read it.
Okay.
And I will definitely, oh gosh, I got to add it to my pile of 6 other books.
What's one more book?
But I will agree with you. I love it when the actual author of the book reads the book on Audible. And that's why I feel like I know Brene Brown, because I've listened to her Audible books. I mean,
yes, you guys are best friends.
Right. I mean,
they are, which is exactly why she's going to be a guest on this show.
I mean, she's so like real, I mean, listen, I sound like a crazy, like weirdo fan, but I'm really not. I think she's super real and, really intelligent, and I just love listening to her. But anyways, but I will read Untamed. I'm going to add it to I just keep adding it to my Amazon cart. And then every couple of weeks I order a few more books and just keep going. Right. Gotta get these books read. All right. Number 3.
Okay.
Question for you is, how do you practice self-love? What's your favorite way to take care of you?
Oh, okay. So maybe 6 or 7 months ago, and this was literally by accident. I go to the gym and I think I'm going to a yoga class, and I walk into what appears to be a Zumba class. And I was like, oh, this is a thing. And I fell in love immediately. Amazing group of women. And there's some guys in there too that are awesome. Love the instructor. Anyway, like, so it became a thing. Like, my husband's like, oh, so this is like your life now. And yes, it is. And I do it every day. And it's not like she does a great job of mixing different types of music too. So it's not just only salsa and merengue. It's, Afro beats. And anyway, long story short, obsessed with it. And then this weekend, hear me out. Like, we get an invitation, our group, to perform at the Dolphins versus Panthers halftime show. It gets better. So it was supposed to be like, whatever the placement was when we went to practice, I was kind of like in a different spot. The girl in front of me didn't show up, and whatever happened, I end up right behind Beto Perez, which is the founder of Zumba. And this is my moment. And I am like, I am shaking and moving and gyrating, and I'm like on the big screen, and I was like, this is happening. So yeah, that's what I do for self-love. And it's great. If you guys haven't tried Zumba, like, check it out. It's a great way for me to stay fit. I've tried running, which is okay sometimes, but I need something that, like, to keep me, so that's just my cardio and my self-time, and it's mine, so yeah.
Okay, so you were on the Jumbotron at the Dolphins game is what you're saying, doing Zumba.
Yes, me and my booty.
Love it. So, see, we're always having famous people on our podcast. Tasha's been on the Jumbo. That's a big deal. That's big time. Are you kidding me?
I was so, like, still literally on a high from Sunday because it was.
This was just this Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. A couple days ago.
We need to see. There has to be like video recording of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it is. I'll send it to you, ladies.
Yeah. Send it to us. We need to see this.
We need to see it, and we need to share it on the Circle of Goddesses page.
You guys don't even understand. It's me and maybe 100 people out there.
Mm-hmm.
But you're behind.
In my mind, I am Beyonce. There's no one else. There's no one else around me. The founder isn't even in front of me. This is my show. You see it all over my face in the video.
That's awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Fun times for sure.
I love that. That's great. You are not the first person to come on here and share with us that a form of dance, whether it's Zumba or salsa or something, is their favorite way to take care of themselves. Like, we've had it many times. And I don't know where, Julietta, we're going to have to, I know you used to salsa, Julietta, and that I did not know about you until recently, but she was like salsa queen from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I still can't get the samba down. There's something in the hips that I'm missing. It's hard. But everything else,
I'm like, to me, samba is also like I'm fluent in Spanish, but I try and speak Portuguese. Mm-hmm. No falo portugués. It's like, I think once you know one, it's really hard to transition to the other. So it's like, once you know salsa, trying to transition to samba is difficult.
Right.
But anyway.
All right. That was fun. Okay. So question number 4 is, so this is something we found after doing a bunch of research when we decided we were going to start this podcast. And one of the things we found that a lot of women do struggle with is accountability. So how do you find accountability or hold yourself accountability in all the amazing things that you're doing, being a mom, being a wife, working, having friends, being on the Jumbotron at the Dolphins game?
Right. When you say accountability, do you mean like keeping everything into perspective and like, I am super approachable. Like, this is a no judgment zone always. Right. And so I have learned over the years how to be an active listener, which is hard, right? Like, we all just jump to talk. So that's helpful, and just being open to feedback. I'm all about constructive criticism, and whether I'll change. Your birthday's today, so you're a Sagittarius. I know you got some in you. My birthday was last week, so I too am a Sagittarius. So
happy birthday!
But so I think that's it. Just being open to feedback and
I think that's really a great thing to talk about, because it's interesting, because Julietta and I always say, we want to hear people's feedback. We had a longtime friend come message me, and she's like, "Hey, I want to give you guys some feedback on your podcast." And my initial reaction was like this, like I kind of got defensive. And Julietta's like, "We need to listen to her feedback." And I'm like, you're right, we do. And I had to but that's hard to do. And I love that you shared that, because I am super, Julietta probably already knows this about me. I get super defensive anytime someone, whatever, and I'm learning to let that go.
I think that's human nature. Because I think sometimes we go into this automatic mode where we're taking feedback as criticism. And instead of if we can just shift the story that it is just feedback, it's their experience of it. So you have to understand, it's coming from where they're at, which might not be everybody else's reality anyway. And we need to release ourselves from thinking of it as criticism, and just realizing this person is just wanting to help you and is offering a suggestion. Right. The other thing I love, this person, before they just chimed in, they asked, "Are you open to some feedback?" Which is sometimes I need to remind myself of that, because of my job, working with people in the healing, I'm always telling people this is what you need to do. And so I just go into this, I'm anybody who's talking to me about anything, I'm in professional healing mode, just dishing stuff out. And I have to remember when I'm not in my office actually working, that sometimes I need to just pause and take a step back and ask the person, do you want feedback? Are you open to receiving some feedback? Which definitely softens the
blow, if you will. Right.
If you want to call, and it's it's not meant to be a blow.
Right.
And, but I've had to, as a recovering perfectionist, once I've let go of that need to be perfect all the time, feedback comes much more easily, because before it was people are giving me feedback because I wasn't perfect. And that's a big problem.
Right. So my struggle is the opposite of perfection, where I never truly fit inside of a perfect little box with a bow. Right. And so I remember kind of struggling with that when I was younger, not fully fitting into a certain group of people, or and then I've learned to embrace it, right? And I feel like it's helped me in my life, in my career, just kind of being me, So that's why I was saying feedback is, I'm open to it, but whether I will 100%, just because this one person said I should blah, 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 will I change? I
don't know. Maybe not. If it fits, if it's useful, then yeah. And it might not be useful. It might not be for you. And that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So Allison had to leave us. She had other places to be, but that's fine. So it's going to be just you and me for takeaways today.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
So, and my takeaway for this is just that, the whole feedback thing. I think this helped me also create greater awareness on my feedback delivery and getting permission to give feedback before I just so wonderfully throw it out there.
Right. I agree.
what is your takeaway from the show today, Tasha?
I love that we are in different professions. You know, I love that, you know, it's your podcast, The Voices of Goddess, is empowering, right? And so my feedback for today is like living out loud, unapologetically, and women supporting women. You know, I love that. I love that. So,
yeah. And that, you know, like there's women kind of have this, we're known for being catty and like pushing each other down. And some of that comes from, you know, the patriarchal society that we live in these days, that everything is competition and, you know, clawing your way to the top. And it's not like there doesn't have to be a top. Like we all just help lift each other up, and everybody can rise and everybody can be on top together. But then that kind of means there's no top. So we don't need to be on top. We all just need to have the opportunity to be our best and do our best. And
I agree.
So yeah, we want to get rid of that competition and cattiness, and let's all support each other and allow everybody to be the best that they can be.
There you go. Now, how's that for a takeaway? Yes.
Love it. So anyway, I just want to thank you for coming on and being on the show. And it's great meeting you here in this realm. Your energy like comes through so strongly.
Thank you so much.
I'm like, I love Barbara in my BNI, and I'm like, can we have 2 digital marketing people in BNI? Because you have amazing energy. I love you too.
Oh, thank you so much, Juliet. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on the show. You ladies are awesome.
So, and I also want to thank all our listeners out there, and whether you're watching us on YouTube or if you're listening in on one of our podcast platforms, please subscribe, follow, like, and share, because all the goddesses out there need to be a part of this. And if you'd like to be on the podcast, you can very simply go to our website, which is votgpodcast.com. And we have a form on there you can fill out, and we will be in touch and get you as a guest on our show. And also, if you want to connect with Tasha or myself or Allison, check the show notes. All of our contact information and everything important that we talked about in this show, the links will all be in there. And I think that's it. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Tasha. And I want to wish you all a magical day.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
See
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.